Hello everyone, thank you so much for returning to my channel for another deck flip through. I am the Basic Witch and today I'll be flipping through the Embroidered Forest Tarot by Alicia May Van Vukakis. This was the first tarot deck I ever backed on Kickstarter, and I must say I think I hit a home run with this one. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see, there's foiling on the cover, which will give you a bit of an indication of what's about to happen on the cards, which is just absolutely magical, and the forest green color as well. So I think even though she does follow the traditional RWS meanings and sort of suits, it's a whole new magical little adventure that we're about to go on with this deck. Also, the representation of the pips is a little bit different, and she has depicted each one on the sides. So what each little suit is going to be mainly depicting. So you've got the hares for the pentacles, the swans for the cups, foxes for the wands, and bees for the swords. So we'll get straight into it. The box itself is quite small and sturdy. It's only just the size, just over the size of the actual card. So you can pretty much store it and stack it anywhere. And she's included her own little guidebook as well. So at the start, there's a little bit of introduction of who she is and what she's all about. So Alicia predominantly loves the witch life and embroidery. So all of the pictures on the cards are her own designs and pictures that she has herself cross-stitched. So when you were backing the decks, I believe one of the extra add-ons and stuff you could get was an actual stitching of one of the cards. She also mentioned that she doesn't usually use reversals herself, but she has added in the shadow side of the cards in her descriptions of them. And she's also given us some cool little spreads. And then she's just jumped straight in to your major and your, getting there, minor arcana. And she's got some cute little pictures at the start of each suit. Oops, where did you go? Oh. So that's that. And we'll jump straight into the cards themselves. And the inside doesn't have anything different going on as well. Oh my word, that just jumped away. Okay, so I'm going to lay these down. I'll just pick them up one at a time. Because of the foiling, I'll have to try and get it into the light just right for you. So the cardstock is 350 GSM with a laminate finish, or laminated finish, sorry, and with silver edges. So as you can see where the foiling is throughout. And I think the pictures are just incredible. And I think with the major arcana, the animals that she has chosen fit really well in with the descriptions. But they're just so magical and so beautiful. I'll try and get each one so you can see it properly. I do love this guy's little monocle. So this video is a little late. I've had some technical difficulties, but we're back on track now. And given that it was meant to be, this video was meant to be out last week and it's out this week, I am predominantly blaming it on the full moon in Aries for its non-compliance, if you will. Look at the Chariot. How amazing are these colors? I actually love the idea of living in a cottage, living in the woodland area. So these cards are just a really great representation of that. Just magical. At the end of this, I will also put it up against the RWS decks that I had last time, so you can see the size and the thickness of the cardstock as well. And I'll also direct you on where you can order this amazing deck. And I'll be using, so I've decided that each deck I flip through on YouTube, I will be using that deck for the next week on my Instagram, so that you can kind of see how they look next to each other or in different spreads. Given that this deck was not necessarily intended to use with reversals, I won't be using this deck as a reversal, and instead this will give me some good practice to try and find the negatives or the shadow sides of meanings and things like that, because a lot of people who traditionally just use upright with no reversals do tend to be able to find the shadow side a lot quicker and easier, and they're able to sort of intuitively pick when the card is trying to tell you such a thing. So this will give me good practice over the next week. I just love the pinks and purples and blues in this deck. They're just so incredible. How amazing. And this one is much faster than last time when I did all 4 decks. That was a big day. If any of y'all have watched the whole thing, I'm so thankful for your commitment. So that was the major arcana. I have once again put the minor arcana in alphabetical order. So starting with the cups, we have our little swans. And she's gone with the swans, given that the cups represent water, emotions, relationships, and stuff like that. And little swans live in water, or spend a lot of their time in water. So that's why she picked those. The only, and it's no criticism based on her or this deck, it's just because of who I am as a person, but I tend to love animals much more than I love people. So when she's depicted a sad little swan or a hare, it's sad. I just want to give it a cuddle. I'll just pick up 2 at a time, hang on. You get to hear my dog running around again. She likes to chase flies. And now that it is warmer where I am, that our back door is open, so let some fresh air and insects inside. That's good too. Just because of the foiling, it is a touch hard to focus with my camera, so I do apologize if any of this is a little bit blurry. And I do apologize if when or if you have received your deck, if this video just does not do it justice, because I don't think it will. These cards are just so beautiful. And they're so sturdy too. Little hare, little bunny. So as you can see, like it still does stick with the RWS meanings, or what each one would try to depict and stuff. And it does have sort of like the number of each thing. But it's just, oh, I didn't even explain to you why there's hares. I'm so sorry. So the hares are the pentacles, given that the pentacle goes with the earth sign. And it's all about the body and having stuff. And little bunnies live on the earth. And they like to have their daffodils. So I think that's super cute. Look at this bunny. He's worked so hard. I don't think they're daffodils either. I think they're daisies. I don't know. That's horrific of me, isn't it? All I know is the bunny has worked really hard to get his flowers. And he's super pleased. Very little bunny family. So I've also, oh no, I think I already mentioned that I'll be using this deck throughout the week on my Instagram as well. And if I haven't, I just mentioned it then. I can't remember. So the other thing that you'll notice as well is that with the knights, I mean the pages, sorry, they're all in a little embroidery frame, which is super cute. There we go. So we're on to the swords, which are depicted by our bees. As we all know, the swords are the air element, about words, about the lungs, danger, warnings. And if there was ever a warning from any animal, it would be a bee. I myself am quite afraid of bees, but how these ones are depicted, it's okay. See, I feel bad for this little bee. And there's our little framed page. Very handsome. A queen bee. So our last suit is the foxes, depicting wands. And she's chosen foxes as the wands are the fire element. We're talking our inner selves, instincts, the heart. And I think we can all agree that foxes live based off their instincts, their little hearts and their fiery little tails. Sunflowers, at least I know this one. So I think it's really cool how she's kept the same meanings, but even with the different or similar but different depictions, same but different depictions on each card, you can use your intuition to figure out whole new meanings and what the cards are trying to tell you and what the spread is trying to tell you. So I think that's really cool as well. My dog running around. All right. So that was the Embroidered Forest Tarot flip through. Much quicker than my last flip through. I think they're all going to be quite quick now that I've figured out just one deck each to do. I'll move this out of the way super quick. So, and as well as this is the back. And I think I'm going to say it in every video that I probably ever do, but as you can see, it goes one way pretty much the whole time. So if it is in a reversal, you will know, which is also why I won't be using this deck predominantly for, I'll be using this deck only as upright, because then I'll never know what card it is. And even though just by the emblem being upside down, I won't be able to tell what card it is anyway, but I'll know that it's a reversal. But anyway, so it's a good way to work out if you do have any reversals. If you don't want to use them, this is an excellent way to work out if any have kind of flipped up while you've been shuffling them. So just hang about there for a quick second and I'll reach over and get my standard WS deck. So it's still shuffled from the last time, but that's all right. So, oops, exactly the same size as each other. There's no height difference or anything there. So it's the exact same size as your standard deck. And then in relation to the thickness of the cardstock, I think this one is just, the Embroidered Tarot is just a touch taller. So the cardstock is just a touch thicker. Oops. I touched the card to focus. That was ridiculous. Yeah, so it's just a wee bit bigger. See if I can zoom in. There we go. I'll get all that back together for you. There we go. All right. So yes, it is going to be thicker, and the cards are a little bit more stiffer, but we do like some sturdiness, and I assume after some shuffling you'll be able, it'll sort of set itself again. So I'll quickly show you how it shuffles, and then I would suggest that we are done. So while I'm showing you how it shuffles, if you go to embroidered_forest on Instagram, you will find Alicia's Instagram page for this deck, and it'll also direct you to where you can buy the deck itself now that it's off of Kickstarter. But it is the embroideredforest.com if you are just interested in going straight there. They are for sale for $69.99 US. So please make sure you convert so that you know what you're paying for. And I believe at the moment she's just finished some pre-orders. So there might be a touch of a wait, but it's a wait worth waiting for. So as you can see, it does shuffle quite well. Because of the edging, sometimes it can get just a touch sticky, but with plenty of shuffling, it'll all sort itself out. I've seen her shuffle these cards on her videos, and it is just incredible how fast she can go and how well she can control these cards. So it's just all about the practice. My hand is still a little sore, but I'll do that other shuffling. That's going to make it go into reversal. I did message her and I was like, oh, I want to riffle shuffle these, but I'm too scared. And she was like, girl, get in there. The cards can handle it. And they really can. So as you can see, they are a little bit stiff, but they shuffle really well. They're nice and sturdy cards. They're just beautiful. I couldn't recommend you getting this deck more, guys. So please go check out her stuff. She is currently designing an Oracle deck that is going to come out in 2021. I think it's going to go on Kickstarter. So if you are interested in backing that deck, definitely follow her Instagram, and on her website she'll give you all the information and I absolutely cannot wait to get it myself. And then I'll give you a flip through of that as well, but that's not till next year. So thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel and having another look at a deck flip through with me. I am the Basic Witch. You can find me on my Instagram, basicwitchtarot_. My website is thebasicwitchtarot.com, and this would be my website. So thank you so much, guys. Can't wait to see you again, and have a very blessed week.